All right. So my my article was about how to retain employees in a full employment economy and what troubles that comes with it as well. So my first question that I got was, what actions should companies take to retain talent in today's full employment economy? Companies can improve their workplace, and this means also for cutting off different departments and within their departments leaving it as like an open concept, more of a cubby workplace than border off walls and stuff like that.
How would
And
that improve communication and retention?
because it will allow the employees to talk to one another within throughout the day
Okay.
and work in groups.
Okay.
And also involving employees' families with the company more would also help the companies to retain the talent. Example would be giving them incentives that are more personalized to the person, which would be giving one of your female employees or male employees paying for their kids to go to SAT or ACT prep courses, or host family day events where you bring your kids to the office and they have games and stuff, trivia and stuff like that for the food and drinks and all that for the families.
Okay.
So, and then my another question that I got was, what would you miss the most if you quit your current position for a new opportunity? So this also brings back to like getting your family involved so that when you're thinking about leaving for your job, your kids, your husband are gonna miss like the benefits that you got from your job. The
So try to connect the whole family to the company.
Yeah, make the person feel as if they are part of the company and not just an employee for the company. And also make it more personal, their space, like not as in that they need their own little space, but more that have them have their stuff up with their family at work or involve their coworkers, make them put friends together, make it more of that. If you leave this job, you're gonna miss who, you're gonna miss this. Like, make it part of their life. If you
Okay. Would that
and
help you keep staying with the company?
say that again,
Would you stay with the company because of those things like that?
I would personally.
Okay.
Yeah. It depends all on the person's personality in a way. Because if you have, say, you need employees for running your books, accountants, and stuff like that, maybe they don't personally want to talk to everybody all day. They just want to get their work done and submit it. And you would have to go a completely different way
Okay.
if you were dealing with those type of employees. But in
Okay.
this situation, for those examples, I would.
Okay.
So the next question is, what aspects of your employment could your current employer improve to keep you from quitting? So one would be to offer incentives. If you reach this mark, you get this percent, or if you reach this mark, you win tickets to a game, or tickets to a show, or tickets of the employees choosing.
Okay. So
And
you'd want to try to make it more personalized.
yeah, and then also offering your employees that have been with you a long time, offering them the manager positions, offering them the positions up in the company that would make more money that maybe you might outsource looking for new employees. But if you look internally, it will show that you do let your own employees grow and you do let them prosper within your company, and that everyone is the company and not that you work for the company.
Okay. That's a good point, is you're part of the company, not working for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So now I think, let's just go back and the same question
Yeah,
before is if you have a company that takes care of its employers well
yeah,
and you're engaged and you're satisfied and you don't leave, I guess the company's going to make more money that way.
yeah, absolutely. If
Go ahead.
morale is high and people want to come to work and they do want to work and be productive, then overall your company will bring in more profit as well.
Okay. So now, why wouldn't you do that? If you're going to, wait a minute, you just said you're going to make more profit. Why wouldn't a company just do that if they knew they could make more money by doing simple things like that? Why wouldn't they do it?
Because sometimes the people that run certain companies might have different core values that even though you do turn a profit while you don't do these things, that
Hmm.
in some businesses that you don't have to do these things, that sometimes your employees are irreplaceable, but in the long term and for the growth of a company to stay strong, having employees be happy is a big overall factor.
So short term, it may not make a difference,
Yeah,
but
short
longer
term it
term.
may not make a difference, and in certain businesses that doesn't like really affect it, like in a lot of old school businesses, like for example, if you run a construction company, you're still going to get the same jobs, you're still going to get the same bids regardless of who's digging your holes or who's building your bricks. But at the same point, if you have employees that are happy to go to work and aren't feeling underappreciated, they might be more productive while they are doing the work.
Okay.
And it would also bring an effect that your company would also do better in the long term. You get jobs done faster, people would work together more.
Hmm.
So that's also a big factor.
Yeah.
And then another question was, how does your employee turnover impact an organization? So employee turnover is just you keeping your employees. How many leave you and how many don't. If most of the employees stay, that shows that the company builds an enjoyable workplace where their employees can grow. I feel that if you let your employees grow within the company, that your turnover reflects better upon you because if you can get your employees to stay within the company and stay where they're at, then that means that they think they can't be anywhere else that could be better than, or they keeping your employees that they need you, but they don't not need you too much
Hmm.
is
Trying to
all.
get that balance.
Yeah, keeping that balance between employee, employer, and not making it that they think that they're a partner in the organization or that they're a friend or that they think that they're irreplaceable, but that they also appreciate what you give them and what job they do for you.
Okay. And that means you probably, if you're recruiting less people, that's cheaper. You don't have to train people. The customers
Yeah,
probably get to know them better,
yeah,
and you have less risk with existing employees than with uh,
exactly,
employees that you got have been there.
exactly. So one of my last questions that I got was, why are employers keen to attract passive job candidates?
Hmm.
And this just has to do with the fact that you don't want someone that's brings me back to my point. You don't want someone that's too driven and that you want someone that works for you but also doesn't want to leave you. That they're
Hmm.
comfortable with getting their 9 to 5 and getting their paycheck. You don't want someone that's too competitive that they are saying to themselves, "Why do I come in here 9 to 5 and do all this work and I could be making the same amount of money if I started up my own competitive business against them."
Okay. So it's keeping a relative level of satisfaction,
Yes.
but still encouraging them to work and do their best.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Okay.
And that's pretty much where I came to an end of my PowerPoint
Okay.
presentation.
Let's now come back and go back. So now, if you had a choice and all things being equal, that there's no difference in pay, benefits, or anything, versus a company that engages versus those that aren't too engaged and don't treat employees, which one would you pick to be with?
The ones that are engaged.
Okay. Now, what if the pay for a non engaged one was 5% more? What would you do then?
Personally, I wouldn't take it because I would rather be happy in my job. But depending on what employee you're attending to is if it was a single mother that needed the money to maybe that helped her pay for her son's soccer league in the
Good
summer,
point.
then then there's a little bit difference in you waking up and having fresh coffee at your desk or being able to talk to someone more during the day. You would rather let your son reap the benefits. So
Okay.
it all depends on what employee you give. Maybe instead of if it was a kid right out of college, maybe instead of giving him a 5% raise, you give him 2 tickets to a sports team he liked.
Yeah, I
Or
sense you would
something.
like that.
So yeah, so it depending on the employee, it depends on the benefits you give them.
Okay. So it's got to be, you got to engage the person where they're at.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. But if the person, if that mother did take the job that paid more, do you think she'd be happy in the long run?
In the long run, no, but sometimes that's life. Like
Hmm.
just like in New York City, rent's a lot of money. You got to come up with that rent every month.
Right.
So you gotta. Sometimes it's not about how happy you are; it's about what you got to do.
That's a that's a good point of view. Really, you got to do what you got to do, don't you?
Yeah,
You
that's
don't
it.
always have a choice.
We
Yeah.
don't. That's it. We don't all got that choice. And maybe one day when you do get enough money and you do get that choice, then you can pick whatever you want to do for happiness, or you can go
So
pick.
once you, if you really have some choices involved here, then it's pretty clear what you would do.
Yeah, if you just had one single variable and all you had to worry about is yourself, then I would be happier all day. You would rather be happier because you're working 40, 50 hours a week for this company. So if you have a bunch of people that are happier for you working, you will do better. For a company's perspective, you should always want your employees to be happy, regardless.
Right.
But if you're thinking about the other perspective, some people just have to deal with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
maybe someone would be some accountant out there is probably happier selling footballs and lacrosse sticks at Dick's Sporting Goods,
Hmm.
talking to people all day. But that's not going to pay for his loft with his 2 kids and his kids' private school.
Sure.
So you never. It depends on the situation and who your employee is for
Okay.
the company to decide their benefits that they're going to be giving everyone.
Okay. Good. What did you learn by doing this?
I learned that everybody is different. That if you have, if you care enough as an employer to cater to everyone's likes and needs, then they will do the same for you when doing the work that they are given.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.